Hi guys, welcome. Danny here from the Magic Junk Drawer, and today I wanted to talk about your natal moon. So my natal moon is in Leo, which makes me a little bit dramatic. A little bit emotional, a little bit dramatic. But hell, Leos are fun, so whatever. And no one's perfect. So if you don't know your moon sign, and if you're interested in learning astrology, of course I offer lessons. But if you just want to get a basic chart, go online, look at you have to know that the birth time is so important. You got to know your birth time because the moon changes signs like every 2.5 days. So somebody could be born on, June 1st at 6 o'clock in the morning. I have a different moon sign than someone born on June 1st at 6 o'clock at night if the moon changed signs in the afternoon. So you got to know your birth time. It's usually on the birth certificate. If not, ask your parents. Somebody should remember. Get as close to it as possible. So my moon is in Leo. It's in the third house, which, well, the third house is like neighbors, siblings, that kind of thing. Yeah, I'm a good communicator. I can't argue with that. But let's start with if your moon is in the first house. Emotions. You always tend to end up in the limelight. And you like being in the public eye. Yeah, that's true. Because the house of self and the emotions, but when it comes to emotions, well, I shouldn't say, what I was gonna say was, you would want to be looked at in a positive light, but that's not always true because some people like being in the limelight and it doesn't make a difference. You know how they say all publicity is good publicity even if it's not, just being in the news is a good thing. So if your moon is in the first house, you may like to be in the public eye. If it's in the second house, good things come to you, you have lucky circumstances, and you often get what you need when you need it. That's because these are your emotions, this is what you need, and the second house is like monetary. It's your earned income. So what does it say here about the third house? You have a knack for putting feelings of a group into words, and you may serve as a teacher or a spokesperson. Well, I am a teacher. I teach yoga, and I teach yoga full-time, so that's true, and I would love to teach more astrology. Communication is one area where you can always get support. Historical ideas may interest you. Yeah, all right, I can agree with that. Moon in the fourth house. The fourth house is the mother, security. It's all about security. You look to the home and the family for support and encouragement. Security is so important, and the roots that you build, that's like most important. When it comes to the fourth house, it's all about the home. It's all about the mother. Now, sometimes it's not always about women because sometimes there are men that are more mothering and nurturing than women. And that's cool, it's all right. So it's not necessarily about being a mother, but it could be about being a nurturing person. You could be a nanny, and you're just nurturing and you don't have any children. Moon in the fifth house, you're creative, definitely. And you may enjoy working in groups or working with children and animals. Creativity and its expression are very important to your life. Moon in the sixth house, you always find support from others. And you're definitely interested in nutrition, health, career, working, hard workers. The sixth house is career and health. The seventh house, when the moon is in the seventh house, it's all about your friends, partners, marriage, relationships, and you gain your strength by being tied to someone else or being in a partnership. And you have to have like a broad view. You could be a business partner with somebody, and that could be like a marriage, and that could show as your marriage in your chart if you never get married. Like there are sometimes like people will say, well, I'm not married and I'm not going to get married. And I'm like, yeah, but you've had this business partner for the last 20 years. And that's like your marriage because your money is together and, you're building this business together. So it's kind of similar. Things have changed over the years. There are people that never get married, but they've been living together for 20 years. Okay, so maybe you're not legally married by the state, but, we could debate this. Okay, when the moon is in the 8th house, you are keen for business. You have great, I don't agree with that, so I'm not even going to say it. Your keen for business sense is never sharper than when you are working with or for others. You're good with group coordination. The 8th house, other people's money, credit, birth, sex, rebirth, death, Scorpio, anything like that is the 8th house. And the moon is the emotions. So whenever you think of, like, if you know what the house is and what it's ruled by, and then you look to the planet, so the moon is emotions and the 8th house is like birth, sex, rebirth, ruled by Scorpio. You kind of link the two of them together. So the moon in the 9th house is your sense of honesty and truth is something that others sense and support in you. You find yourself teaching or guidelines for groups in matters of religion and philosophy and travel important, and you're very dedicated. Yeah, I could see that, because the 9th house is all about travel, and sometimes, especially as we get older, traveling is not always so easy, so teaching about it or teaching about foreign things. Moon in the 10th house, you have a natural insight and understanding as to what the public wants. Your career gets all kinds of support from other people, and you feel at home making practical and managerial decisions. The 10th house is your social status. So it's all about how the public sees you, and if you are seen in a good light, or, you know, social status. And sometimes as we get older, we become more prominent in the community. It could be somebody that maybe starts off working in a small shop and then winds up getting older and buying the shop and owning the shop. Moon in the 11th house. You tend to be part of a group and you draw strength and encouragement from your friends and acquaintances. So once again, when you look at the moon is all about emotions. The 11th house is all about friends. You put the moon in the 11th house and it makes sense once you start to know what these different things are. The 11th house, house of friends. Moon, your emotions. You're strong when you're with your friends, or when you have these bonds and ties. Moon in the 12th house. Once again, I always say you got a secret. Anything in the 12th house, you're hiding something, it's going to come out. All comes out in the wash. Psychology, and you may find yourself counseling or ministering others, helping others understand and accept their lives. I agree with that, but I also think that somebody has a 12th house moon, they're going to be drawn at some point to some kind of mysticism, whether it's astrology or tarot or some type of religion, maybe a religion that's not a common religion, or maybe not a religion that's of their own background. Maybe they venture out and they get involved in a different religion. The 12th house is very mystical and it's very psychic, and when your moon is in that house and those are your emotions, you tend to kind of be gravitated to those things. So I could definitely see that. Sometimes, like, I read these things in these astrology books, or I'll read things online, and even with the websites that I like, sometimes I just don't agree with them, and I just have to, you know, I gotta voice my opinion because I have a big mouth. I can't always keep it shut, and it's gotten me in trouble a lot. Over the years, I can't keep my mouth shut, especially if I think that something's not right. I mean, okay, the 12th house psychology, yeah, I can see that, but it's also about mysticism, and it's also about, like, psychic awareness and, you know, going deep into the subconscious. It's hidden things. So, and the moon is your emotion, so that's where your emotions are. All right, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, or you want me to look at, you know, a celebrity's chart, or you have a question, you want me to pull cards, whatever it is, you know, post it. If I can't do it, I can't do it. But if I can, I'll do it when I get to it. It was fun. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.